Looking for meat and groceries? Look no further than Waris Food Store in Walthamstow. Visit the store to view our special Ramadan offers. 420 Hull Street, Walthamstow, E17 9AA. Or for free delivery, call us on 0208 521 0000. We have fresh deliveries of poultry and vegetables every day. Waris Food Store in Walthamstow.
Reliance Solicitors fight to protect your legal rights. Our firm offers a wide range of services including immigration, family law, commercial law, civil litigation, personal injury, landlord and tenant disputes and employment law. Visit us at 602A High Road, 7 Kings, Ilford, IG3 8BU or call 0207 183 5439. Reliance Solicitors, where every client matters.
Britain Solicitors in East Ham, the name you can trust. We provide services in immigration, family law, landlord and tenant matters, commercial leases and civil litigation. We also deal in personal injury claims and road traffic accidents. Call us on 0203 475 7845 or visit us at 62 Barking Road, East Ham, E6 3BP.
Ramadan FM 2018.
The voice of British Muslims.
Atlantic Distributions. Whether it is frozen fish, marinated Lahori masala fish or lamb offals, we have them available at very competitive prices. We are wholesale suppliers to restaurants, butchers and caterers. Visit us at 51 to 53 Upton Lane, London, E7 9PA. Contact us on 07415 474 185.
Usman needs the adhesive to work. If not, his day will be a disaster. So, Usman, if you really need something to bond, grab a tube of CT1 from your local stockist. An incredibly powerful sealant and construction adhesive that's fast, flexible and strong. It can be used anywhere, even underwater. For more info, ct1limited.com or follow us on Facebook or ring us on 0208 555 1448.
In an age of technological advancement, mass communication and social media, having the right website and app can be the difference that your business needs. AppSite Tech are here to take your business to the next level. No matter how simple or how sophisticated your requirements are, our technicians will work with you to create a bespoke website and app for your organisation. Call us now on 0753 8081 or visit appsitetech.co.uk and book your free consultation now.
Amigos, the signature name when it comes to burgers and shakes. Our succulent burgers are prepared in front of you while you wait. Whether you go for the 6-ounce Mexican or the 10-ounce Texan, or you decide to go for our messy fries or buffalo wings, one thing you're guaranteed is quality. We've also got a range of desserts including our trademark shakes in all your favourite flavours. We're based at 400 Cranbrook Road in Gants Hill, so come down to dine in or order in on Uber Eats or Just Eat.
Assalamu alaikum, and a huge welcome and salams from Sakina,
Saraya, Mohammed. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak to you all. You are listening to the first episode of the Black and Muslim in Britain show, only on Ramadan FM 2018. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube. You can also listen and connect to us on Mixer, Twitter and TuneIn every single Saturday from 4 p.m. until 5 p.m. We are going to be here, inshallah. Send us a comment, send us a salam, let us know that you're listening. And if you want to join in on any of the discussions or whatever it may be, you can do so via Facebook Live. And of course, in the famous words of Fraser, we are listening.
Hey.
You know that one? Only old people. You know, he always says, we are listening.
Yeah.
Do you get the joke?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, thank you very much. I wrote that. I prepared that. So, inshallah, let's introduce the team that we have here, alhamdulillah. Let's start off with Saraya.
Oh, why me?
Because ladies first, right?
100%. That is certainly the halal way.
Okay, and I am the oldest. My name is Saraya Bar. I am a writer, a poet, a cultural producer which is a quote directly from Tanya Manira Williams from season 1 of Black and Muslim in Britain.
Very specific.
Yes. Yeah, that's about it really. I don't like talking about myself too much because I feel, I don't know, but I do quite a lot of things in general. I'm co-producer.
Do you want to come a bit closer to your mic?
Okay. I am co-producer of Black and Muslim in Britain, and I was approached by Sakina and Mohammed to join forces with the team, which I'm overly ecstatic about, and I'm very passionate about Black people and the empowerment of our stories and showing that our narratives are very diverse. We are not a monolith. And it's also what I find in the Ummah, you find you're too Black to be Muslim sometimes and too Muslim to be Black. And we needed a platform that to be able to speak our truths without having to deal with other people's perceptions or other people's biases.
Of course.
And you have that soapbox, if you will, to speak about the issues that we overcome and face.
Of course, we're going to get like more into the Black and Muslim in Britain video series and what it's about and the videos, inshallah. But we're going to pass it over to Mohammed just to kind of share a little bit about yourself.
Hey, hi everyone. So my name is Mohammed. My mum or my friends usually say I'm so good they name me twice with the Mohammed. Anyway, beyond the project that is Black and Muslim Britain, I'm a writer of poetry, and that's kind of like my main thing. I'm a massive sports geek. So professionally, I'm actually a PE teacher outside that all. So I'm really excited to be here. I think we're gonna rock it. We're gonna rock Ramadan Radio, Ramadan FM, and I think it's time that we move the conversation of what Islam or what Muslims look like in Britain, and that Black Muslims are part of that model.
Yes.
And this is kind of like the angle I hope we can take.
For sure. So definitely a shout out to Ramadan FM 2018 and to the people behind the radio station for actually giving us a platform. And as you're saying, it's so essential that we have these platforms, especially within the Muslim community, so that we can share our stories, and the stories are coming from Black Muslims. So just kind of a little bit of a background. We've got Saray, who's from Sierra Leone. We've got Mohammed, who's from Somalia. We've got myself representing the Caribbean, Jamaica and Guyana.
Sakina, you need to introduce yourself as well.
Yeah.
Myself and Mohammed did it just now.
I don't need an introduction. I'm joking. No, I'm the same thing with you, Saray. I hate speaking about myself. Literally, I really hate speaking about myself. And
Would
to be
you like
honest,
me to speak for you?
No, don't do that. I don't think we have enough time. I think we should move on. But I'll be very brief. Of course, my name is Sakina Lenoir. I'm from East London. Yeah, from East London. I'm also I've taken the term from Manera as well, because we've in Manera, Tanya Manera Williams, may Allah bless her and protect her and give her more, mashallah. She was one of the participants in the video, as well as one half of Poetic Pilgrimage. I was inspired to kind of use the term creative producer as well, because I feel that really kind of is a good definition or term to summarize creativity. And it's weird because when you speak to people, the first thing that someone says to you is, what do you do? You know, they kind of like try to define you or try to put you in a box, which I find very difficult because I'm in so many different boxes. But I've kind of, as you said, co-producer of Black and Muslim in Britain. I produce different shows on Islamic channels, as well as part of Pearls of Islam, which is a Nasheed group, as well as teaching drumming. So I'm just like a creative kind of
and
crazy.
Rabbani project.
And the Rabbani project as well. Thank you, Saray. Thank you so much. But alhamdulillah, it's a blessing to be with you all on Ramadan FM 2018. Let's provide a little bit of a context, okay? What is Black and Muslim in Britain?
So Black and Muslim in Britain is something that was in the making a long time ago, actually, not just in 2017 when we released it, but back in 2016. But going way beyond that, this was initially a student kind of project when I was at university in Exeter. And I'd noticed that during Black History Month, there was a lot of like watering down of the things that made some of the greatest Black Muslims in our generation great in the first place. And that was their strength to God, they show up to Allah, they show up to Islam. So like a lot of the student groups would organize events, and it would be like, you know, celebrating Malcolm X and celebrating Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and of course, yeah, Martin Luther King was influential in the civil rights movement, even for the black Muslim movements in America. I kind of felt that their Islam was kind of being sidelined, and I was like, nah, we've surely Muslims and the Islamic Society at the university can have an active role in Black History Month.
Yep.
So we kind of done this like little exhibition thing with like famous Black Muslims in history, and that got a really good response. So I think that was like the foundation of what I was hoping to put together when, or the objective of what inspired the project. And then we kind of reached out on social media and was like, who wants to do this project? And this is also on the back of Black Lives Matter as well, even more so the Black Lives Matter movement, and how Muslims were only interested in Black Lives Matter when Black Muslims were a victim of Black Lives Matter and the police brutality in America. So the video initially had that mindset, and we were like, actually, let's make it about what it means to be Black and Muslim in Britain, and those identities and what that looked like, and ask like really interesting questions around the project. And yeah, that's kind of how we got here now. And it was a really interesting coincidence, actually. When we released it, we didn't even know that it was the 30th anniversary of Black History Month in the UK. So it really tied well that we were celebrating some of the greatest Muslims of our time, celebrating their Islam, celebrating our identity as Black people in Britain, in history, Black people around the world, beyond just sidelining them and remembering them as influential figures in our lifetime. So yeah, that's a long kind of introduction, but Sakina was the first person to jump on the project when we started this in 2016, and we kind of like did the first filming, and we were like, whoa,
I remember,
this is huge. Like, we were hearing the responses of the participants. We couldn't believe how amazing it was going to be, and we were like, okay, you know what, there's no point rushing it, because this was like halfway through October 2016, and we were like, let's regroup and release this in 2017, and we did. And then we grew the team even bigger, and then Soraya got involved and killed the production, and putting together the works that we have in place, and the filming team, and Sakina's media mindset kind of ran away with how this was going to come and look like. So we're very grateful, but that's the backstory.
I think it was now you're mentioning it, I'm going back to 2016, and I remember the first video that we did and the response, and knowing like this is so much bigger than just us, and the importance of making sure that we provide platforms and we have opportunities for our community to tell our own stories. And I remember back in 2016 when I was working for an Islamic channel, and just feeling like as though, you know, where's the diversity? Like the Muslim community, and I'm going to tell you a fact here. Mm-hmm. Let me get my paper because I researched it. Here we go. This is Sakina's facts. Here we go. So according to the 2011 Muslim Council of Britain census, Black Muslims of African and Caribbean descent make up approximately 10% of the Muslim population, and is one of the fastest growing religions amongst Black communities. So 10%. I don't know, it's hard. Sometimes you can't really rely too hard on statistics. Mm-hmm. But according to this research, 10% of the Muslim community, and you would think that we kind of represent like 0.5. Do you know what I mean? Like you're always, you know, our stories and our voices are not heard, but yet we're so much a part of this community. We're so much a part of the Muslim community, and it's important that our voices and our stories and our cultures, and as you were saying, Soraya, we're not just one. You know, where it's not like a Black Muslim looks like this, or a Black Muslim, all Black Muslims are reverts, or all Black Muslims reverted in prison. You know, we've been here for a long time, and all of us were so different. And we see that in the video titles as well. I don't know if you want to share a bit, Soraya, about some of the video titles or the topics that we cover.
Okay, so we covered a range of topics that I think me, you and Mohammed, we sat down and thought, okay, what are good topics to cover and what can be open-ended and allow people to speak freely to the camera. So I'm literally just freestyling. I don't have the titles in front of me. However, we had questions such as black and being in love, and what is the strangest thing you've encountered as a black Muslim. Thank you, Mohammed, you are the plug. So I've got our YouTube channel, so quick plug, follow Black and Muslim in Britain on YouTube, and subscribe, like, comment on the videos, and refresh your memory of what the series was about. So episode 1 was, should faith be a pivotal part of Black History Month? What is the strangest thing you've experienced as a black Muslim? Being black and finding love. Who are some of your black role models, and what does it mean to be black and Muslim in Britain? Which I'm saying we approximately had about 15 diverse brothers and sisters from different parts of the world, different parts of the black world. And it was just, I think from the production aspect of it, like running around and sourcing who we were going to interview and speaking to them and having them on camera speaking quite candidly, it was really fascinating, because sometimes you get caught up in your little bubble. I mean, like you said before, Sakina, I'm from Sierra Leone, and I know how Sierra Leonean Muslims are, and to me that's the norm. But when you kind of like go out of your circles and then you interact with Somali Muslims or Caribbean Muslims, you see that though we may look similar and people may feel as though we are the same, we are not, and our experiences are completely different.
Give us an example. What do you mean when you said, oh, I know how Sierra Leonean Muslims are? How are they?
Well, you know, usually when you think of a Muslim, it's like you don't do the free mixing, and you don't really listen to music or anything. It's like Sierra Leonean parties, like even you're Muslim, they're completely different. It's like they'll enjoy themselves, but they still pray there 5 times a day, and then they go to the masjid. And especially when you're living in Sierra Leone, though Sierra Leone is a majority Muslim country, there are Christians there too, and you have some of the native tribes who still practice the native religions that they did before. But I think I don't have any stats to back it up, but we are the most peaceful nation, where you'll see a Muslim man called John or a Christian man called Ibrahim, and when it's Eid, Muslims and Christians celebrate together, and they're really happy, and it's a day of celebration. And when it's Christmas, they do the same. Some people may not agree with that, but it's just like I like to think of it, allude it to Surah Kafirun, where to you your way and to me my own. But just because you have different views, it doesn't mean that you have to completely oppose one another. Other people could disagree with me, but I think it's a good way to be.
No, fair enough.
But because it's such a because Sierra Leone is such a small country, and we are a minority within this country, I wouldn't expect other Muslims who identify as black to know about that or understand it unless they know someone directly. So I think Black and Muslim in Britain is an excellent project, because it does provide a platform for those who want to share their experiences. And you can have I think the beauty about open-ended questions is that you don't know, there's no expectation about an answer. There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
You're just allowing somebody to speak freely.
Yeah, we were quite specific on that, isn't it? We didn't want kind of like, it's not our opinions. It's kind of just, here's the platform, you say whatever you want to say. And we tried our best not to kind of be like, oh, we don't want that in there. We don't want that in there. Mohammed, what was your favorite part? Did you have a best moment or a best video?
A best episode? I think it has to be... what is the strangest thing you've experienced as a black Muslim? And I think that was the most popular video actually on all our sites, both YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. It got 500,000 views on Facebook.
Wow,
which was amazing. Yeah, it really did. And we were taken aback, because the response to social media for 24 hours was really insane, and it had a lot of, and the reason why that video was not because of the view numbers.
Just come a bit closer to your mic, Mohammed. We're losing you.
Sorry. Not just because of the viewership, but I think that video transcended time and place, and we had responses from people in the Americas, and I say Americas a broad term. We had Muslims out in South America and the North America responding to that video and commenting and sharing, the Muslim communities in Africa, and I mean as a continent, people from various countries responding, and it was really, really like, and the reason why that resonated, the reason why it was so popular, because it resonated with so many people.
Yeah.
It resonated so many people here, even in Europe. I know we've had a lot of responses.
What were some of the comments in the video, just to give people an idea of what the video was about?
So it was more like bringing to the reality of both the struggle of identifying as someone who's black and Muslim, the struggle of having to, having to justify your identity, justify your Islam in spaces where you would assume it would be, no one would have to question your identity, right? Like going to the masjid and the little young boy asking Rakeen, who was in the video, he goes, are you Muslim? And then Rakeen says, of course I am, I just finished praying, right? Yeah. And then he flips it back on the kid, and he's a kid, so he's innocent, and he flips it back on the kid and he says, are you Muslim? And the kid's like, what? Of course I'm Muslim. And then Rakeen says, I don't know, you could have been Hindu, right? Because there was this assumption that he was from the South Asian community, the child, and for Rakeen to educate the young child and be like, just because you're from so and so doesn't mean that you are associated, or I can assume your faith, right? And that video was probably that was also like very serious and also a very funny response. But there was also parts of the video where it was really dark, where brother Habib Akande was in Egypt, and a homeless child said to him, I'd rather be homeless than be black like you. Oh, wow. And like, I think even as filmmakers, as people who were behind the production team, I'm very sure there was a real pause in the room when this part was being filmed. Yeah. And it's these kind of moments in that video where we had light, interesting clapbacks, should I say, as well as really dark and very scary racism in your face.
And is this just like a norm? Because obviously that's, I know Soraya, you were in the video, I was in the video, we were missing Muhammad, unfortunately. But I know as black Muslims, this is something that we experience often. And I remember, like, as you were saying, Muhammad, when Habib said that, even though that I've heard so many different like racist comments towards black Muslims, it kind of becomes a norm. You expect it. But hearing that comment, I was like, what? Whoa, it really shocked me. And it kind of reminded me that I had just normalized kind of racism within the Muslim community. It's normal. It's normal when people say, if you want to be beautiful, you need to recite, if you want to be beautiful and fair and white, you need to pray salawat. When teachers are saying this, Islamic teachers are telling their students that in order for you to be beautiful and white, pray salawat. Or even when teachers, Islamic teachers again, are equating kind of urban street culture to black culture. So it's like, we don't want to be like those black people. Then what about me? Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't want our Muslim kids to be like black people. Then what am I meant to be? I'm black and I'm Muslim. This has become so normal, which is frustrating. And of course, next week, inshallah, we're going to dig further into that video. This week, we want to focus more on what does it mean to be black and Muslim in Britain. We are going to go for a little break, inshallah, before we kind of delve into that question. And you know what? I think it would be nice to show maybe like a little snippet of one of the videos so that everybody can actually hear what we're talking about. Or at the same time, make sure you go onto our YouTube as well to watch the whole series. But we'll share a little snippet from that video, inshallah, after the break. Do stay with us. We're only going to be gone for a couple of seconds, well, not seconds, a couple of minutes. Do feel free to kind of, if anyone wants to ring in, you can. The studio number is up on the screen. It's 033-011-6786. Join into the conversation. We want to hear your views. We want to hear your thoughts. Hopefully we'll read out a couple of comments after the break. We'll see you very soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Limited.com, or follow us on Facebook, or ring us on 0208 555 1448.
In an age of technological advancement, mass communication and social media, having the right website and app can be the difference that your business needs. AppSite Tech are here to take your business to the next level. No matter how simple or how sophisticated your requirements are, our technicians will work with you to create a bespoke website and app for your organization. Call us now on 07538081212 or visit appsitetech.co.uk and book your free consultation now.
Amigos, the signature name when it comes to burgers and shakes. Our succulent burgers are prepared in front of you while you wait. Whether you go for the 6-ounce Mexican or the 10-ounce Texan, or you decide to go for a messy fries or buffalo wings, one thing you're guaranteed is quality. We've also got a range of desserts including our trademark shakes in all your favourite flavours. We're based at 400 Cranbrook Road in Gants Hill, so come down to dine in or order in on Uber Eats or Just Eat. Amigos, hats off to great burgers.
Ramadan FM
2018. The voice of British Muslims.
Hey, tenu we wari aake aita cricket na khelya kar, to fir window punch ho rahi hai.
Don't worry, Dad. Our windows need changing anyway.
हाँ तो पैसे तू दे से ना.
Nah, don't worry, Dad. UK Windows will sort it out.
UK Window? Oh, कौन है ना?
They're the best double glazing company about. They do windows, patios, French doors, sliding doors, UPVC, aluminium, you name it, they've got it. We can go see them at 51 to 53 Upton Lane, Forest Gate E79PA, or call them at 07984 440 093 or visit ukwindowslondon.co.uk.
वाह जी वाह, ये तो कमाल है यार. UK Windows
Zindabad.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
With over 25 years experience in the East London area, there's no better firm to rely on than Cameron Adams Century 21 when it comes to properties. Be it lettings, property management or sales, we can assist you to ensure you get the most out of your property. Contact us on 0208 558 2000 for a free, no obligation valuation and watch us do what we do best.
Grab your taste of luxury at Pink's Boutique. Designer brands like Hugo Boss and Armani to keep your style in check. Catering for ladies, men and kids, Pink's Boutique has it all under one roof. And we offer shipping worldwide. So get the look to fit your attitude. Visit us on our website at pinksboutique.co.uk. Remember, that's pnksboutique.co.uk.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Anytime someone says assalamu alaikum, I feel like I always have to say wa alaikum salam.
I always think about your song.
Do you? Assalamu alaikum.
So we're back on Ramadan FM. You are tuned in to the Black and Muslim in Britain team.
Whoop whoop.
I am, if you're just tuning in, Saraya Bar. I have to my right Mohammed.
You have to think about
Mohammed.
That, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And ahead of me, I have the lovely and radiant, full of nur, Sakina Noor of Pearls of Islam and Rabbani Project. And we've been kindly invited by Ramadan FM to be here each and every Saturday from 4 p.m. until 5 p.m.
Whoop.
And we're going to be discussing all things Black and Muslim in Britain.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. So before we went on our short break, we...
By the way, I don't know what that was. It's just kind of like...
When you feel something, you just got to go, innit?
You just got to let it go. Let it go.
Came out.
I don't think...
The Ramadan spirit, right?
I know. How are you finding Ramadan so far?
You know what? I'm not going to lie, because I'm fasting.
Mashallah.
And mashallah to
Very
me.
pious.
But I'm actually finding it very difficult, which is really strange. Usually I'm like one of those people, like I fast, I try to prepare myself by fasting in Sha'ban, and then it kind of prepares me for Ramadan. But this time round, I don't know what happened. I was struggling. Like the first day, I felt so sick. And I was kind of like really like, I couldn't even, like mentally, I couldn't do anything. You know, physically I could get up, but mentally I was just like, I can't do work. But alhamdulillah, it's getting easier and easier, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
How are you finding it?
I find I have this weird thing that happens when I'm on the way to work, where I feel really lethargic, and it's almost as if I lose my vision a little bit because I'm so dizzy, and then I'm fine afterwards, and then I'm at work and I would just feel like full of energy, doing everything. I usually listen to podcasts, but of late I've been listening to Mufti Menk lectures because he's like a don, mashallah. And I just breeze through work, and then iftar happens, and I'm mindfully trying to kind of like make this Ramadan as spiritual as possible, because it's all about growth and progression.
For sure.
So alhamdulillah, it's a bit of a weird one for me. Like, I don't feel ill. I feel like I have energy, and alhamdulillah, I've read like 3 juz so far.
What?
Yeah. So
you're on top of it.
Yeah. Strangely enough,
Let's
am.
mashallah that
Alhamdulillah.
before.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Muhammad, how's your Ramadan going?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. This has been a more like self-conscious Ramadan.
Muhammad, you got to come to the mic.
Oh,
why are you so afraid of the mic?
I'm sorry, the mic just scares me. It's like
why?
Screaming at my face like, eat me. No? Anyway, yeah, it's been more like a conscious Ramadan of like self-development. I feel like previous Ramadans have always been like trying to do things for other people, which is great. Like alhamdulillah, you give a lot of your time, right? But I never had enough time for myself and like my own connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I kind of feel like this year I'm trying to find a balance. And it's been okay so far. It's been okay. And you know, looking at it from a like work environment, professional environment, I've been really open. Obviously, I'm at a new job in the sense that it's my first time having Ramadan at my current workplace. And I just told him, like, you know what, this is what I need to do. If you want to help, this will be helpful, and I'm going to be totally unapologetic about it. And it's been really good so far. And it's a draining job physically, but it's been challenging, and so far it's been okay. And I've had my own personal targets as well, with like scripture, and alhamdulillah I'm keeping to it, and try to keep that atmosphere and atmosphere going. And try to get to as many community events as possible. If there's a way we can, share some cool iftars happening all over the country, and where we are currently in London, I'm sure we can over the episodes, because that helps in our own development as well, and it's part of the Ramadan spirit. So yeah, the Ramadan, alhamdulillah, 2018, baby, it's going good.
Alhamdulillah. And touching on iftars in and around London, specifically, just a small plug, the Rabbani Projects are going to be doing a Green Deen Iftar next week Friday at Rumi's Cave. So if you want to find out any more information, we'll post it on our Black and Muslim in Britain Facebook page, and you can find out on Sakina's Instagram page, which is at Pearls of Islam, I think.
Oh, sick.
So yeah,
I didn't know about that.
What?
I didn't get invited. Thank you, Sakina.
No, it was an Eventbrite. I've got 2 tickets already.
Serena, it's funny because when people talk of a Green Deen Iftar or a vegan Iftar, especially black people, actually not even black people, I think just Muslims,
people in general,
they're like, what? You're going to have an Iftar without meat? Like, what? Is that even possible? We've become so, and I don't want to kind of digress too much, but we have become lovers and worshippers of meat. Meat. A meal is not a meal without meat. So this Green Deen Iftar, not to scare anybody, but it is all about kind of eating food that is ethically, organically sourced. And of course, the Prophet Muhammad ate meat, but he didn't eat meat every single 2 seconds. Do you know what I mean? And that meat was treated correctly, halal and tayyib as well. So it's important that we recognize what we're eating, and even when it comes to plastic or waste, this is all part of the Ramadan spirit.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't want to say too much.
We're definitely going to make a black presence there.
So we are. So we'll be sharing that flyer on our page. And I hope to see you guys there next week Friday, inshallah. But before the break, we did say we're going to play some clips from season 1, and I think the clip that we're going to be playing a snippet of is what does it mean to be black and Muslim in Britain?
What does it feel like to be black and Muslim in Britain?
What does it mean to be British? What does it mean to be white? What does it mean to be black? I mean, all of these questions, I think sometimes we have these questions based on the other.
It's very difficult for me to kind of, and maybe I can't articulate the way to separate those things and what it does mean to me, because it's such an integral part of who I am.
What does it mean to be white in English? They wouldn't really have a response to that question, but I think sometimes, like, as the so-called other, we're expected to have responses to these questions.
I'm living in an age where being black and Muslim in Britain is great.
For me personally, it means that we need to wake up, because in Britain, being a black person and a Muslim, we get sidetracked into other people's cultures.
To me, it's to be erased from many conversations and discussions around identity.
It's
Okay, so that was just a small snippet of the Black and Muslim in Britain video series that was aired last year. Inshallah, we're going to be doing another series this year, so please do make sure you stay tuned. But that's a huge question. That was only a small snippet. The conversation went on and on. I'm going to bring it to Muhammad.
Yeah.
Especially because we didn't get to hear your opinion. What does it mean to be black and Muslim in Britain, according to you?
I remember when we posed this question to our participants in the video, there was, I think, probably bar one person, everyone had a massive pause. And I was just like, whoa, that's a really heavy question, right? And I think, in summary, really, it's finding the right space that works for you. Because there's a lot of people where you would say, and I guess I'm in a position where, you know, in our current like cultural society and understanding what race looks like in Britain, I have what's called light skin privilege, right? So I can maneuver in various spaces, and because of people's like colorism and how colorism affects how other people perceive black people who are palatable to them. I never faced this like immediate challenge, but there were certainly certain spaces where I felt that that you could feel that you're not embraced enough.
Is this within the Muslim community?
Yeah, within the Muslim community. So I would speak to a lot of people, and this happened on a few occasions to me, is where I would be like, oh, you can't do that. It's not from Islam. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And like, this is clearly an attack on someone's, or how someone carries their own culture, right? And that could have been like, even like something as typical as hairstyles. I remember this was the case when I went to madrasa as a kid. And my friends, they had braids. And I used to wear braids as well, but coincidentally, not when I was going to madrasa. And they'd be like, you can't wear this. You can't have your hair like that. It's haram. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro?
Where's the proof, man? Bring the proof.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? I've never come across this, right? And then there'll be space. So in that space, it'll be like, because of the way you're appearing to us, this is unacceptable. And then I would go to operate in black spaces, and people are like, you know, this is the standard, right? This is like, you know, there's no questioning of who you are and how you carry your Islam and your culture. So there is this often, and this has been consistent in the series, of juggling your identity of you're Muslim in spaces where other spaces you won't be considered Muslim, and you're black in spaces where in other places you won't be considered a black someone who's carrying dual identity of being black and Muslim, right? So that's kind of been an interesting place. And there's also like another factor, is how blackness is perceived in some African countries. So like in Somalia, this came up a few times actually, is, you know, how do you carry that Somali identity and whether or not you're black? Because some Somalis don't always consider themselves black, but in most cases, most do overwhelmingly. So it's also kind of juggling that, and it's really interesting. And I could ramble on. I'm sorry, I do this a lot, guys.
No, what you're saying is truth, man.
Yeah, so that's kind of it.
Would you
juggling dual identities.
Would you agree with that, Saray? And especially as obviously you're a visibly Muslim, female Muslim, visibly as in you wear the hijab,
and visibly black.
And visibly black, of course. And so Muhammad, obviously, he's a man, as everyone can see.
Yes.
So sometimes, I don't know, Muhammad, I don't know if sometimes you can go into spaces and people might not know if you're Muslim or not.
That's definitely the case. Certainly, a lot of people just because we've racialized Islam, right, in Britain.
Yeah.
Because we get it, like statistically, and I think the MCB report covers it really well that people from the South Asian demographic or geography of the world make up the majority of Muslims in the UK, and there's reasons for that. Historically, it makes sense. So when people think of Islam, that's the group of people they think of first in Britain. That's the context. Whereas like the black communities, that isn't the immediate that isn't the immediate assumption. So you kind of have to prove your Muslimness per se, right? So with me, because I'm not Muslim men have that leeway where they can maneuver, whereas Muslim women who are visible wearing Muslim women wearing the hijab, straight away you're like ambassadors of Islam, right? To the public.
Yeah.
So I get that kind of quote unquote freedom where I can maneuver and no one would know who I am until I say my name, right? They're like, oh, what's your name? Like, Mohammed. Oh, Assalamu alaikum. And this happened a few times and this is totally normal. It's like, okay, I'm not offended by it.
Yeah. So Ray, would you say these labels, when we're talking about black and Muslim, are these labels dividing us? A lot of the time, and we saw this in the response to some of our videos.
Yeah, we did.
Where people were like, why are you calling yourself black? Why are you calling yourself black Muslims? In Islam, there's only one. We're all Muslims. Like, we don't see race in this religion. So, do you think we're kind of using these terms? Is that dividing us as a Muslim community?
How can you divide something that's already divided?
Oh, pen drop. Mic drop.
I had a very good school friend, went primary school together, and she messaged me. And I think it was very innocent what she asked. And she said, sister, I just want to know why you've created a series called Black and Muslim in Britain. Don't you think it's divisive? And she then went on to say that the masjid that she attends, mashallah, it doesn't matter about race. They all have like solidarity and sisterhood. And I was trying to find a way to articulate it in a way which wouldn't seem as though I'm being combative or anything.
Yeah.
But somebody else answered for me, alhamdulillah. They said it's not a case of trying to cause division. It's just highlighting and giving black people a voice box rather than having other people speak on our behalf and say that, oh, there is no racism in Islam. As a buffer when you do challenge issues that happen within the ummah and the anti-blackness which is right within the ummah. On our Facebook account, when we posted the what does it mean to be black and Muslim in Britain, a brother quoted part of the Quran. It's Surah Al-Rum, chapter 30, verse 22, and it says, and one of his signs is the creations of the heavens and the earth and the diversity of your tongues and colours. Most surely there are signs in this for the learned. And if we were to kind of like break that down even more, it's just that we were created from different tribes and cultures so that we can learn and recognize and learn from one another. But what you tend to find is if you go to an Islamic conference, they may be welcoming to all Muslims, but a lot of the practices and the customs, even if it comes down to something as trivial as food, the food is always representative of a certain region of the world, and that type of food has now become synonymous with Muslim food.
Let me just pose a question here. Doesn't that make sense? Because naturally that's the majority. So isn't naturally, if the majority of Muslims in this country are coming from a South Asian background, then naturally when we look at the representation of Islam and Muslims, it's going to be of a South Asian kind of majority. I'm just putting that out there. I don't necessarily.
To a certain extent, I agree with you, but then the argument that is then presented when you do talk about racism within the Ummah and say there is no racism in religion, then you shouldn't be allocating culture with the religion. I shouldn't think, oh, samosas is a Muslim, is what Muslims eat, because then that is wrong.
Yeah.
So even though you are a majority, I understand that we as individuals have a duty to show that Islam is extremely beautiful, and you have Islam is extremely beautiful, and we have a kaleidoscope of different people who worship Islam, and we aren't a monolith.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the point that you made in reference to I guess sometimes people fear that if you think too much about culture, you're going to become very you're going to be like a nationalist. You're going to be, I love I love being black, or as we have our Pan-African brothers and sisters as well. And I guess people fear, at the end of the day, it is about Islam. At the end of the day, we are Muslims, and there's a beauty in recognizing, and there's a unity in the fact that regardless of our colors, regardless of where we're from, we're Muslim. But then there's also a beauty in the diversity, as they call the unity in there's unity in diversity. And acknowledging that, alhamdulillah, you can have samosas for iftar, but you can also have plantain for iftar as well, or plantain, whatever you want to call it.
Oh no.
I say plantain.
Is it baris?
What's baris?
Baris. How Somalis call it.
Yeah, all those. And that's one thing I love about being a Muslim, is the fact that there's so many different cultures, there's so many different races, and it gives you that space to be who you are. When you come into this religion, it's not like, okay, you need to dress like this or you need to dress like an Arab. When you come into this religion, it's making you better. It's making whoever you are, it's making you a better person. And that's the beauty of being a black Muslim, alhamdulillah. We actually don't have long. We have a very short time, unfortunately, which is crazy, because there's so much more that we could kind of delve in and discuss. But I think it's very, very important that we also briefly mention about Malcolm X, as it is his birthday. And we've only got about maybe like 3 minutes left of the show. Of course, please do join us next week, inshallah. We're going to be here the same time, Saturday, about to say 3 o'clock. No, I'm going to tell Soraya 3 o'clock so she's not late.
Yeah, please do that.
But it's from 4 to 5, inshallah, on Ramadan FM 2008. And of course, you can join in on the discussion via Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all those social media accounts. You can follow us on Black and Muslim in Britain, inshallah. But I guess maybe to close it, to kind of come to an end, it'd be nice to maybe say a little bit about Malcolm X, or, a reflection on one of the greatest, for me, the greatest black males to have ever lived. I'm going to say that. Wow, that's huge. Yeah. But I actually believe that.
Every time I think about Malcolm X, even more so in looking at his Islam, I think about what Imam Zaid Shakir said. And there's a story of Imam Zaid Shakir, American scholar of Islam. He was with the late Betty Shabazz, who was the wife of Malcolm X, and he was with her at the 96th Street Masjid in New York. And she said to Imam Zaid Shakir, and this is the wife of Malcolm X, she said to Imam Zaid Shakir, the nationalists have claimed Malcolm, the socialists have claimed Malcolm, it's time for you Muslims to claim Malcolm.
I actually have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the statement. The only problem I have, the non-black Muslims have claimed Malcolm X so much that they forget that he's black.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So everyone's like, Malcolm X, amazing.
Yeah.
But when he starts talking about black issues, they're like, oh, forget it. You know what I mean? Like, you can put up a poster of Malcolm X, but then you're still disrespecting black culture.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do like that. It's true what she's saying in regards as Muslims and as black people, we need to make sure we claim him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, because it's quite short, I just wanted to share this quote, which I think is so beautiful. I don't think many people will associate Malcolm X with beauty though, because he was very passionate and
he's
very
beautiful.
But I think he's an attractive man. Beautiful.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, man.
I can't be saying them type of things, but I think this is really beautiful and poignant, and I think we should all apply it to life. I believe in human beings, and that all human beings should be respected as such, regardless of their colour.
Yes, yes, a beautiful point to end on. I know that we've got some people in the comments contributing to the discussion, so thank you so much, Safina Qayyum, and everybody else. Uncle Dawood there saying Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. We have come to the end of the show, unfortunately, which is crazy because that kind of hour went really quickly. But as I said, do join us next week. We will be discussing the video that we actually filmed on the stereotypes and, you know, the strangest things that people have said to black Muslims. We'll also be doing a show on being black and in love, looking at marriage, looking at you know, seeking a partner as a black Muslim. And we'll also be doing a show looking at black role models as well. So 4 to 5, you know where to be on Saturday, inshallah. Final words from Muhammad.
Yeah, have a wonderful iftar tonight and enjoy well, I'll be with you guys next week anyway, so inshallah this week of Ramadan is easy for you. And you have a great time with family and friends and loved ones, and go to a community iftar and get halal lit.
Soraya.
Ramadan Mubarak. I'm gonna wear a different hijab next week.
Okay,
yeah.
Thanks for letting us know.
Sorry, I'm just looking at my camera. I don't like it. And I hope that Ramadan is everything that you wanted to be and more. And if not, I'll keep you in my du'as that it is the best one to date. And yeah, have loads of nice days.
I mean, beautiful. I can't really add much to make sure you have. What did you say? Halal lit.
So get halal lit.
Yeah, I can't add much to that. But yeah, may Allah bless you all. Inshallah, we'll see you next week. And just remember us and the ummah in your du'as. Assalamu alaikum. We'll see you next week, inshallah.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam.